Con. Shalom, shalom, shalom. First, I want to give our glory, honor, and holy praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Hamashiach Yahweh Shah. You know, I want to give another shalom to all the elders. You know, that's been out there paving the way. That's paved the way and that's still paving the way to this very day. I would like to give another shalom to all the brothers that's out there on the highways and byways. Shaking the hand, calling back the elect, right? I want to give another shalom to the sisters that's out there in this truth. That's being submissive to their husbands. They don't have husbands. They still contributing to the ministry, whether that's making garments or just supplying things for brothers in need. Just a shalom to the brothers and sisters that might not be in this truth yet, but you go wake up sooner or later. And shalom to everyone else, all y'all. So this video is just a quick little simple breakdown on basically hopefully we could come to understanding, because you have a lot of people that kind of read the Bible and they read it with their feelings, right? They kind of read it with their emotions. They kind of, I feel like this, but they have no idea. So as you could tell by the title of the video, right? We go break down correctly what the heart is according to the Bible, right? Not my opinion, not what's, definitely not what I feel, but just going based off the scriptures, because people have to understand that the Bible is written in code, right? And a lot of words that you see in the Bible is not meaning what you think it means. The heart is one of them. The heart is not talking about, what's in them beeping every, that's beeping, pumping the blood. You know what I'm saying? That's not what the Bible is going into when it's talking about your heart, right? It's talking about your mind. That's what it's going into. So I'm gonna go through the precepts, and hopefully, Lord willing, by the end of this video, people could have a better understanding on what the heart is according to the Bible, right? So I'm gonna share my screen, and because this is what most people think the heart is. Let me get this. Yeah, this right here. This is what people think the heart is, right? Look at this. Madness. They might think this is the heart, right? Look at this. So this is what people thinking the Bible is dealing with, man. The Bible not dealing with this, all right? But no, the Bible not dealing with this. Look at this. The Bible is not dealing with this, okay? This is not what it's going into when it's talking about the heart. So if you got to get this and kind of throw it away, right? It's not talking about this. This is not what it's dealing with. So again, we're going to get running into the scriptures and get what it's actually talking about, right? And I'm going to start here in the first book. The first precept I'm going to go to is the book of so like you bear with me 1 second. I have all these precepts already prepared through the Spirit. As we gonna start at Jeremiah chapter 17. I'm gonna start at verse 9. Come. So it says, that's kind of far back. Let me see. Is it a way to zoom in on the chat real quick? I need to make this bigger. So Lucky, bear with me 1 second. I need to make this bigger. Everybody should be able to see that. So anyway, going back to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 9, right? And it reads, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? So it says your heart is death. Let's read that again. And again, let's use understanding with this, all right? So the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 9. The heart is deceitful. That can't be talking about this guy. Right? This guy is not really known for being deceitful. Okay? It can't be talking about this. So we have to understand, like, okay, what is this going into? The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? So the heart it'll trick you, right? It could play tricks on you. It's deceitful and it's wicked, desperately wicked, if I may add. Who can know it? So we got to get into this thing. And that can't be talking about this right here. You know, it's not dealing with this right here. This is not biblical, right? So we go get to the next precept. We go get right on into it. Bear with me. We gonna go to Mark chapter 2, verse 6. Right? So it says, this is the book of Mark chapter 2, verse 6. And it reads, but there were certain of the scribes sitting there and reasoning in their hearts. So the scribes, going to they're reasoning. Okay. Now, the word reasoning, let's kind of look that up real quick. I'm gonna look up the word reasoning real quick. Bear with me. And again, I know people's like, brother, come on, you don't have to look that up. No, we kind of know what it means. Well, you might, but somebody else might not. So we go, again, we gonna get to the bottom of it. So this is what reasoning means. It says the action of thinking about something in a logical sensible way. Right? So anytime you're reasoning, you're literally thinking about something, right? So now it says you're thinking about something. So that's pretty much letting you know what the heart is talking about right there. Because when you think about anything, period, that's usually dealing with what? It's dealing with your mind, right? So I'm going to read that again. It says the book of Mark chapter 2, verse 6. But there were certain of the scribes, right, sitting there and reasoning in their hearts. So meaning they was reasoning in their minds, right? They kind of, thinking different things, right? So this is pointing out to you that the heart is not talking about this, but it's rather dealing with your mind, right? And this is how you're supposed to do this. Going back to the book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 9, right? You're supposed to go how you go get the true knowledge and understanding of the precepts, right? On down. Now you got to go precept upon precept, right? So I'm gonna go precept upon precept, and we go kind of get to the bottom of this thing, right? So far is dealing with your mind, right? Your heart is dealing with your mind. Let's read on. Let's get to the next one. All right. So what do I want to start at? Slovakia. I want to start at a particular kind of here. This is what I want. So this is the book of Romans, right? Chapter 8, verse 27. And it says, let me zoom in on this. And it says, and he that searcheth the hearts knoweth, right? Where is the mind of the Spirit? Because he maketh intercession for the saints according to the will of God, right? So it just said again, this time it said mind. And it's dealing with it's telling you that the heart is going into your mind, right? It's not going into, that again down there that's pumping blood. It's going about what you got in here. That's anytime you see that throughout the Bible, that's what it's going into, right? Because he's not actually searching your heart, right? He's not actually kind of putting you in the ER, put you to sleep. Then he kind of use the X-rays, and he kind of just going inside your heart. That's not what's happening, but he's doing that with your mind. He knows your thoughts, right? That's how Yahweh Shai knew who will betray them, because he knew their thoughts, right? We'll go to the next one. The next one, the book of Salakia, bear with me. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 8, right? Come on, here we go. And it reads, this people draweth near unto me with their mouth, and honoreth me with their lips. Meaning, because you got everybody say they love God, right? Everybody say, oh yeah, I love God, and God I trust. The only one I fear is God, right? The only person who could judge me is God, right? People are that talk all day, right? They good at talking that talk, Sluggy, the camera. But they good at talking that talk. But let's read on. But their heart is far from me, meaning that their mind. If you could read these people's mind that's talking all this talk about God, their mind is far away from God, right? I mean, it's far from them. They're not thinking about the Most High God. Because if they thought about the Most High God, then they would be keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments like he told them to do, right? They would be repenting, right? They wouldn't be hating their brother in their heart, right? They would be coming out here trying to build a nation. But their mind is not thinking about that. Their mind is thinking about all kinds of wickedness, right? Thinking about buying, what they go buy on the Sabbath. Because they got new deals on the Sabbath, right? So they thinking about buying stuff on the Sabbath. Or they thinking about when, when Day go leave, so they could go sleep with his woman. But these same people is talking, but their mind is meditating on all kinds of wickedness, right? So that's what this is talking about. They heart is far from me, meaning they mind. They're not thinking about the Most High God. They could care less. Let's get that, and let's get another precept. The book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse I'm gonna start at verse 19. I'm gonna start at verse 19. So it says, lay not up, and it's the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 19. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. That's what you got a lot of people doing. You know, a lot of people try to hit the lottery. You know, kind of got to get my ticket in. You know, asking they grandbaby did they put in a number like they asked, right? Or they, you know, working all these shifts. They working on the Sabbath, right? They know that they shouldn't work on the Sabbath, but hey, they storing up treasures, right? Well, here it says don't store up your treasures upon the earth, right? Where moth and rust doeth corrupt, and thieves, right? Because all that stuff can really get stolen from you. Just like that. Read it on. Verse 20. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. So it's telling you this is where you should lay your treasure, right? You should be trying to lay up your treasure up in heaven, the kingdom of heaven. That's where you should be trying to make it, to, you know, build up treasure in the kingdom, not here, in the kingdom. Now get this, verse 21. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Right? So it says, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Now again, is that talk about this guy? I gotta keep going through this. Is that talk about this right here? When it says your heart is going to be there also? Let's talk about this. So you know, you kind of you got one of these in the bank, right? You kind of go to the bank. You know, do you actually see this? Or, you know, in heaven, you know, you got a heart down where I got a heart down here, my other heart is up there. You know, no, that's not what this is talking about, right? This is talking about, again, your mind. Your mind is going, most people, wherever they treasure or possessions is, that's where people's mind is going to be at the end of the day. People minds, if people is storing up treasures and riches on earth, that's where their mind gonna be, on this earth, because that's where they treasures and stuff is. But if you store up your treasures in heaven, up in the kingdom, then that's where your treasure is going to be also. You're going to be thinking about the kingdom of heaven. You're going to be thinking about, you know, when the Lord get back. You know, you're going to be thinking about keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, because that's where your mind is going to be at, because your treasure is in the kingdom. So your treasure is in the kingdom, then your mind is going to be focusing on the kingdom, right? So that, again, that's what it's dealing with when it's talking about these certain things. That's what it's dealing with. It's dealing with your mind. Okay? We're going to get another one. Let's get the book of Zechariah, chapter 8. I'm start that. Verse 17. Come on. Verse 17. Let's get that. And it says, the book of Zechariah, chapter 8, verse 17, and let none of you imagine evil in your hearts. Again, you can't imagine evil right here. So it's talking about your mind. So it says, and let none of you imagine evil in your hearts against his neighbor, and love no false oath. For all these are things that I hate, save the Lord. And the Lord does hate, right? There's lots of precepts. The Most High God does hate, right? What do you think we get hate from, right? So again, the Most High hates evil. He hates wickedness, right? So, but getting back on topic, and let none of you imagine. And everybody know what your imagination is, right? We've been dealing with that since we was a kid, right? They kind of want to encourage kids' imaginations, right? So we know that's dealing with your mind. That's not dealing with your heart. Actual heart that beeping is dealing with your mind. It's talking about your mind when you imagine, right? So you don't supposed to imagine evil in your hearts. You got a lot of people that do this, right? They imagining how they could get over on the sister, or they imagining like she had to fly his hair wrap last Sabbath. I'm gonna show her something. Watch this Sabbath. She better. I dare her to show up with a better hair wrap than me, right? This is the stuff that our people is imagining, right? All kinds of wickedness, right? Evil in their minds. That's what they got going on out here, right? We gonna go to the next precept. Book of Genesis, chapter Salaki, bear with me. Chapter 6, verse 5. We can read verse 6 too. But verse 5, and Yahweh saw that the wickedness of men was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. So it says all his thoughts was just evil, man. Just plain evil. And again, it's dealing with your heart. This is talking about your heart, but not the heart that you kind of, not one of these, right? It's not dealing with one of these, right? That's not what it's talking about. It's talking about your heart, right? It's dealing with one of these. Camera kind of backwards a little bit, but I can't even do a little symbol. But look, it's talking about your thoughts, right? That's the type of thought that it's talking about out here, right? It's not talking about it's not talking about your mind. It's like it. It's not talking about your heart. I got it mixed up. Meaning this again. That's not what it's not dealing with, right? It's dealing with your mind. Okay? It's literally dealing with your mind throughout the Bible. That's all it's talking about. I mean, this is really one of the first things you learn, but a lot of brothers and sisters may not know this. A lot of people is still kind of coming into the truth. So, these are just precepts. There's a lot more than this, but this is just a plethora of precepts I put together of you kind of, just, throughout the volume of the book of precepts that you could bring out and just prove that it's dealing with your heart. The heart is dealing with your mind, right? That's all it's dealing with. So we gonna keep on. And again, I'm not gonna keep this too long, right? It's supposed to be pretty short through the spirit. I want to go to back to Mark chapter 2. And I'm gonna go to verse you know what? No, I'm gonna go to Mark chapter don't want to go to it. That's a pretty good one too. Salakia, bear with me. All right, Salakia. 1 second. Cut, I'm back. Salakia for that. Salakia for that. But let's get back to the word of the Lord, right? So let's get the book of Luke, right? Chapter 12, verse 45. Kind of this is exactly what I want. Let's zoom back in on that so people can see. You can see that. Verse 45. You can see that. So it says, the book of Luke, chapter 12, verse 45. But, and if that servant say in his heart, meaning his mind, my Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to beat the men servants and maidens, and to eat and drink and to be drunken, meaning he could just be a nigger man, right? The Lord of that servant would come in a day when he looketh not for him, and at an hour when he is not ware, and will cut him in sunder, and will appoint him his portion with the unbelievers, right? Because he lost faith, right? His mind wasn't where it was supposed to be. He said, the Lord kind of taking too long. So he took his mind off the Lord, man, and started, being wicked, just going off. So again, that's what this is dealing with, right? It's dealing with your mind, right? People gotta understand this in these last days. Because if you don't understand, simple precepts like this, then how you gonna go into the other ones? Because you reading the Bible thinking the heart is thinking about inside, you kind of like, what? Well, you like, oh, that's your mind. It kind of makes sense to you. Book of Luke, chapter 24, verse 38. And he said unto them, why are ye troubled? And why do your thoughts arise in your hearts? And again, I ain't never had no thoughts pop up here. Usually when I'm thinking, that's all happening up here in my mind, right? That's not happening down here, man. That's literally not happening down here. It's happening in your thoughts. And we know your thoughts is up here, right? In your head. So that's what this is going into, right? It's dealing with your head. Don't let nobody, and Christians don't teach, most Christians don't know this stuff. And this is the simple stuff of the milk of the word, right? But that's because they're not keeping it in the law, statutes, and commandments. So the Most High has blinded their understanding, right? The book of John, chapter 13, verse 2. And supper being ended, the devil having now put into the heart of Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, to betray him. Meaning he put it in his mind to go betray the Lord, right? And Satan to do that. Satan to kind of put stuff in your mind and try to get you to go off, right? Try to get you to, start thinking lustful thoughts, or try to get you to hate somebody, right? Satan to put these thoughts, up in your heart, which is talking about your mind. Start putting all kinds of evil thoughts in your mind. You got to rebuke them, right? You got to kind of go to the precepts, right? Kind of cut them up in this thing. So we go continue. But so that's what happened to Judas, right? So we're going to continue with the word of the Lord. Book of Romans chapter 10, verse 10. For with the heart man believeth unto righteousness, and with the mouth confession is made unto salvation, right? So with the heart man believeth. And again, anytime you believe, we know that's dealing with pretty much, the same thing as reasoning. If you believe something, that's dealing with your mind, right? I believe. If I say, yeah, if you say, you used to run a 4.3 in high school, right? I would tell you I believe that, right? If I believe you, I believe you. Now that's not dealing with nothing down here in my body. That's dealing up here, and everybody knows this. We'll get a couple more. Book of 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 9. But as it is written, I have not seen nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which Yahweh have prepared for them that love him. Meaning it hasn't entered into your mind, right? That's exactly what that's talking about. It has not entered into your mind, right? Because again, I'm gonna go to the pictures again. I never had nothing enter into this of me. Like it don't go down like that. It's talking about entering into your mind. Okay. So I'm gonna get a couple more. Again, this ain't gonna be too long because it's really not that deep. The precepts, all the precepts, pretty much, go over this, right? So it's not gonna be too deep. But this is the book of Second Esdras chapter 3, and I'm gonna start at verse 1. I click it so y'all can see it. Come. In the 30th year after the ruin of the city, I was in Babylon and lay troubled upon my bed, and my thoughts came up over my heart. And we know that's not literally taking place, right? We know his thoughts are not actually coming up over his heart. He's talking about his mind, right? He just had all these different things on his mind, right? He was going through it. Hey, Ezra just went through a lot of things, right? Brothers that read the book of Esdras, he was going through a lot of times he fainted, right? The angels had to literally revive him because he was dealing with the Most High God was revealing a lot of prophecies and stuff to him, stuff that was going to happen in the times that we're living in now, right? We're dealing with all the death and destruction and everything that's coming to the earth. So, he was going through a lot of stuff. So again, these thoughts came up over his, mind, not his actual heart. That that is that's in his body. That's not what it's going into. Let's get another one. It's like I don't want that. Bear with me 1 second. I actually did want. Let me see something. Let me get chapter 4. Let me get verse 2. All right. So the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 2, verse 4. And said, Thy heart have gone too far in this word, and thinkest thou to comprehend the way of the Most High? Meaning, his mind was still kind of too far, on things that was happening down here, right? So, if your mind is so far deep into things that's going happening here on earth, how you gonna comprehend things that's happening up there? It's literally like grabbing an ant, right? You kind of grab an ant, you kind of sit them down on your table, you kind of give them the remote control, you kind of turn it on for them. You try to, explain to the ant what's going down. The ant ain't gonna know what's going on. It's too deep. It's too high, right? So that's what this is talking about. And that's why I had this precept right here. Salakila. A precept. 1 Corinthians 7:31. And they that use this word as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth of race. Meaning, you don't want to be too deep into this, right? You don't want to think too carnally, right? You don't want to get too invested in things to happen. So, like, there's some things we have to do out here. Got to go get a job, right? You kind of got to have a social security card, right? You kind of got to go out here and make things happen. But your mind don't want to be too caught up into everything that's happening here on earth, right? Or in this world. You don't want to you don't want to be too caught up. You always want to be waiting for all hell to break loose. Because all hell could break loose at any moment. Hey, all hell could break loose right now during this live. Right? All hell could break loose at any moment. Hey, as soon as I end this live, all hell could break loose. So, you constantly want to be keeping watch, right? That's what the watchman was set up to do, to keep watch. So let's get a couple more precepts. I'm gonna wind down. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16. I'm gonna start at verse 54. Do I want any more on this? It's like, yeah. I don't think I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna just get this. All right. So it reads, book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 54. Behold, the Lord knoweth all the works of men, their imaginations, their thoughts, and their hearts. Right? So it says their imaginations, their thoughts, and their hearts. Right? Letting you know that it's talking about the same thing. That's pretty much plain. And why every time I keep reading these precepts, right? Why it's not talking about, the kind of blood is kind of pumping? Why I ain't hear nothing about that yet? Because it's not dealing with your actual heart that's down there beeping, pumping blood again. It's dealing with your mind. So that's why you ain't gonna see nothing like that. Let me get a couple more. The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 1. Love righteousness, ye that be judges of the earth. Think of the Lord with a good heart, and in simplicity of heart seek him. Meaning, you gotta think of the Lord with a good heart, meaning a good mind, right? Your mind want to be, okay, what can I do to help push this ministry, right? What can I do to help my brother become a better brother? What can I do to be a better leader in my household, right? To make sure my wife, my rib is on fire. What can I do to make sure my kids is diligent, right? That they're not just out there being little evil as kids, right? What can I do to you constantly meditating on the law, statutes, and commandments on how to better yourself, right? That's how you think of the Lord with a good heart. but these things and more. Not by damn, I wonder who I could go catch a lick from today. Or I wonder who I could go sell this to, you know, and kind of make some quick dough, right? Or, you know, I know she got a man, but you know, I wonder if I DM her, will she respond back, right? Like that's an evil heart. That's evil. So you want to have a good bond, right? Let's go to the next precept, right? Next precept is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 16. I'm gonna start at verse 24, and it reads, "My son, hearken unto me, and learn knowledge, and mark my words with thy heart." And everybody know if you learning knowledge, that's dealing with your mind. You know, you don't store up knowledge down here, you storing it all up here, right? Verse 25, "I will show forth doctrine and wait, and declare his knowledge exactly." So again, dealing with knowledge, that's gonna come to you from, you know, up here. You storing all that up here. You start remembering precepts, and it's gonna click up here, right? Let's get the next one. Book of Ecclesiastes or Sirach, chapter 21, verse 17. And it says, "They inquire at the mouth of the wise man in the congregation, and they shall ponder his words in their heart." You go to ponder, it means think or wonder, or you know, meditate. You basically thinking about it. So and you go ponder his words in their hearts, meaning in their minds, right? And it's dealing with a wise man, right? It ain't say a physician, it ain't say a doctor. It say a wise man, right? So you know, a wise man, you fit to get some knowledge. You fit to, you know, he fit to tell you a thing or two. All right, he might show you something you ain't know, right? So again, that's gonna click up here. You gonna kind of think about it, think about, oh damn, that kind of do make sense, right? That can't be talking about my heart down there. It has to be talking about my mind, right? You gonna kind of ponder these things. Get another precept. I might bring out a couple more. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 37, verse 14. Where am I at? What is this? Slovakia. Slovakia, bear with me. Uh, Let me try something real quick. But that's probably gonna be my last precept. You know, hopefully everyone was edified. I think I have one more Salakia that I could kind of bring out through the spirit. I think I had just a few more. But I think that was pretty much, enough precepts dealing with the particular topic, right? This madness, man. This is all. Again, this is not, you know, this is not, going into what the heart is according to the Bible. This is just, you know, Christianity watering things down and having everybody confused. If people believe in this right here, right? So, you don't want to you don't want to believe in that right now. The heart is dealing with your mind at the end of the day. So and keep meditating on that, kind of pondering on that, on fasting, praying, all praises to the Most High that He allowed me to come back and do another video. I know it's been a while since I uploaded a video. Just been dealing with things through the spirit. But again, Lord willing, this is the first of many to come, and that I'll upload many more videos in the future. I'm gonna get back into the doing it. I got camp tomorrow, so with fishermen for Zion. So we gonna be out there on the highways and byways. Tomorrow, Lord willing, usually around 3 o'clock. But other than that, again, just grateful to the Most High. If you don't use your gifts or your talents, the Most High take them. So, if you feel like you feel like in your spirit, you supposed to be doing something, then you need to do it. You don't want to be called that wicked servant, you know, who trying to hide the Most High talents. You always want to flip it, add to it, be profitable out here. So do each and everything you can to make sure you're doing that, making the election sure, studying, show thyself approved, doing everything that you can possible, right? So again, I just want to give our glory, honor, and holy praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Hamashiach Yahweh Shah. Again, all praises to the Most High, for allowing me to come back through the Spirit and upload this video. Again, Lord willing, I do many more through the future. And I want to tell everybody Shalom. Today is the Sabbath day. Going back to Exodus 28. Remember the seventh day to keep it holy. So everyone keep the day holy. Kind of getting the precepts. You got some wine, it's feast day. But of course drinking in moderation. And, keep this day holy. Now again, I want to say Shalom. I'll see y'all next time. Kwame Shalom.